2, 3.
Oh no!
Mine was not at the same time, guys.
It's fine. It's fine.
Pick one of
enough.
the claps
Yes. And sync.
Okay.
Mine was, I think, slightly ahead.
Honestly, every time you do the clap in the podcast, I'm like,
there, not
I
down
want to do
here.
the clap.
Yes, this is just
We
what we're talking
participated in the
into.
clap.
I feel like we're a
Now
bunch
you've
of
done the
chickadees on a
clap.
wire.
We're all
just, like,
talking on
shooting
top
the
of
breeze.
each other. This is terrible.
Blah, 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 words.
We're so good at video.
Yeah.
What are we drinking today, Georgia?
We are drinking apple cider, and I was about to say apple cider vinegar, but that's definitely
Done
not
that.
it.
It's not fun.
Oh,
I would
God,
not
no.
be chugging this. Oh, God.
Apple cider and Fireball, because today is day 21 of Vlogmas, and the theme is holiday
drunk.
spirit, but we decided that was holiday spirits,
Yes.
so we drankin'.
We's drinking. This is drink number 2.
Yes,
Are you
we
doing
already
scat?
had some
Yeah.
wine, and it was delicious.
Scat is a funny word because it means poop.
So,
It's really good, for the record.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This
it is
just tastes
delish.
like apple juice.
it's one of my faves.
I'm scared that I haven't hit the fireball yet.
I'm
and
scared
it's
that I
waiting.
have and just haven't found out.
Oh.
Well, this was like the
see.
stupid sangrias we had in
Or
Toronto.
the wine, where we're like, oh yeah,
My
we're
sangria was
fine.
gross to start, though.
Because it
When
was
we
all
did
at the
that.
bottom.
I know,
And
ours
then yours
were
got
opposite.
Yeah, because we had these terribly mixed sangrias, and we got the same like type of sangria. And so Libby at first was like, "Oh my god,
Mine was
this is
all
terrible."
the alcohol was at the bottom because we were drinking through straws. All of the alcohol was at the bottom of mine, so I was drinking it. I took a sip and I was like, and this was my first drink after 4.5 years completely sober. This was my first drink of alcohol, and so I drank some and I was like, oh, that's so disgusting. Like, oh, that's so bad. That's so strong.
Meanwhile,
And
I'm
Shannon's
sitting there like chugging it because I'm like, this just tastes like juice.
She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. This isn't strong at all. Oh, you haven't drunk in so long. And then she got to the bottom, and I was like, by the bottom of mine, it was just juice. It was juice and fruit. And I was like, yeah, actually, this is okay now. And Shannon was like, oh no, I've made a terrible mistake.
It was so. Mine was pure alcohol at the end,
Yeah.
whereas hers was like pure juice by the end.
Kind of
Yeah.
afraid this is what this is gonna be.
Yeah.
So
Whoever
I'm
gets
thinking
there first gets a
mine will
prize.
be like that because it was like, this is so tasty.
Don't tell
and
me
then
that.
like the
It'll
last
be a
one
race
was
to the
Whatever
bottom.
race.
shots.
A race.
Oh wait,
It's a
I think I
race.
just got some.
Yeah.
I am winning.
The joys of non-mixed alcohol.
Oh, I know.
So,
What are we gonna talk
Yeah.
about, Georgia?
I don't know. I didn't think this through. I already made 2 videos and now I'm tired.
Vlogmas is catching up with us.
We
It
can
is.
just tell.
It is.
We can
Yeah.
just tell stories about our favorite alcohol-related incidents.
Oh boy.
There you
There was
go.
one time I got drunk and decided I should sleep out on the dock.
Oh, that sounds like a
And
And
terrible
so
idea.
I went and slept out on the dock and nearly froze to death because it dropped below 0 that night and I was too stubborn to go inside.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
I woke up all wet and
terrible.
covered in dew and not happy.
Oh no!
See, I'm good about like knowing my limit and going like no,
And-
but
and playing within it.
yeah, I know my limit, play within it. But it doesn't help when someone is just making drinks appear in front of you.
All
Like
New
the-
Year's,
Phil does that.
New Year's, 2012.
Yeah.
2011 to 2012 because I was
heard about
unemployed.
this story.
I was going unemployed and I was like drink,
Yep.
and so
Phil's good about that though.
he's amazing.
He does that to me with coffee. He'll
Yeah.
be like, another coffee? I think I drank, and his coffees are really strong too.
well, his alcohol
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's
So-
he's a strong guy. He
What
makes
I
strong
say-
stuff.
is in another life. This guy should have been a bartender because
He should be
my
a bartender in this life.
my glass did not go empty the entire night.
That's what's so dangerous because you
Yeah.
can't count them.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
so that was it. It
Yeah.
was it was not wine. It was that strawberry, whatever
Yeah.
vine
Cooler.
something.
thingies.
But like they come in like wine bottles, so they're huge.
Mm-hmm.
And like no one else was drinking it, and it's one I like. And I just happened to say like, oh, I'll help drink that. There were like 3 bottles I think they had been given.
Oh no.
I went through alone maybe 2 in a bit.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Leah helped you a little bit.
Leah helped me a bit. The pictures from that night go from like, yay, party to me progressively like turning Leah into a pillow and I'm like climbing on top
At
of
the
her.
end of the night, I think it's like a picture of all of us with Shannon just like draped across
draped
everyone's
over
laps.
Leah, and I'm just like, you're my friend, you're my bestest only friend, and Leah took it.
Oh, because at that point she was
the friend.
your only
She was my
friend.
only friend, and so
No one's friends with Shannon.
So that was
I still don't even remember specifically how that happened. I just remember it was that New Year's.
It was that New Year's the Shannon has no friends thing started.
Yeah.
I don't remember how. I was drunk.
That's why you don't remember.
Most of that night, I remember we played a board game at some point. We were trying to get a thing and
Oh, we did.
bounced a ball.
We had to bounce a ball
That's
into
called
some
beer
cups.
No, but it was like a kid's game
It
we
was
were
a
playing.
it was
Okay.
a game. It was a board game that Leah brought. There was a game her family had, and there was a whole. It was like, you know how in Cranium there are different categories, and you have to do different things for the categories.
Yeah.
It was like that, but different
You could not
categories.
get
So there
the
was like there
freaking
was.
balls in the cup.
There was a category where you had to like mold things with clay, but then there was this different one where you had to draw a card and it would show you what you had to do with this ball and cups. So you would have to like either bounce it over the cup into another cup, or you had
was
to like
hard.
try and bounce it off the top of the cup to do like it would show
would
you
be
on
good
the
at that.
card.
So I was drunk
Yeah.
trying to do this.
Okay, not drunk.
And
but
I was
that would be good at
the
that.
I was the only one drunk too because you and Melissa weren't drinking. Leah was drinking a
little bit.
I had 2 bottles of wine at this point. And oh my gosh. And-
Phil was drinking, but he's always drinking.
yeah, but like I was the only one really getting drunk
Yes.
at that party.
Getting soused.
It wasn't intentional at all. It was just like, oh, my cup is not any emptier than it was before, even though I'm pretty sure I drank a bunch. Oh well.
Yep. No, that's what happened to me the night that he was giving me coffee.
The text I got from that night.
Okay, so
Not an
his
alcohol
coffee-
story,
yeah,
but it's a
no, not an
might
alcohol.
as well have
It
been.
might as well be alcohol. But his coffees, one of his coffees is like drinking 5 shots of espresso.
Oh my gosh.
Like he makes when he's like, okay, you want a coffee? Normally I take my coffees like double. With him, I'm like, nah, I gotta put like 5.
Quadruple.
I have to put like 5 heaping spoonfuls of sugar and half milk kind of thing to get it drinkable. Because it's so, like, pitch black. Like, mud. and he just kept giving me, like, he just kept refilling. So I think I had like 4 cups of coffee,
Which is like 20
which is
cups
like
of coffee.
which it for Phil coffee, it's like drinking 9 cups of regular coffee, I think, probably.
You're
So
like,
by
you're
the
not
end of
dead.
it, I was so like hopped up. I was literally like, guys, I think I might be on speed right now. And I was texting, and this was the funniest part about it is that this was only a couple months after Will and I had started dating. And so he didn't actually know me all that well. And I didn't drink, so he had never seen me like
Inebriated?
drunk. Inebriated, that's the word. He had never seen me like off my face.
Rocker.
And so I think at that point it was like, I don't know what to think of this girl anymore.
Is that the night that you said you were going to come up with a band? You sent me a
Probably.
text, and it was so long and just
Probably.
caps lock.
Yeah,
The entire
that sounds
thing.
about right.
And you were just talking about how you had the greatest idea for a band name.
I
And
probably did.
you
That
were
sounds
like,
me.
guys, we're going to make a band. And then Melissa's
Yeah.
texting me at the same time. She's like, Libby is bonkers right
Yeah.
now.
Because then we walked, that was when they were still in their apartment.
Yeah.
And we walked from their apartment, and it was me and Melissa and Phil and Will. And we walked from their apartment to the McDonald's on Memorial, back to Will's place, picked up Jeff from Will's place, and then walked back to the apartment. And
Libby's just
the
like-
entire time I was like, I think I probably lapped everyone like 3 times.
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
What about your alcohol stories?
I don't have any super crazy stories.
I have another one if you want
I
to
also have
I thought of another
one.
one while I was sitting here. It's not crazy, but it's
I also have another
painful.
one.
But Georgia needs an opportunity to tell her
Well, I
crazy
know
stories.
there was a party that I went to, and the goal was to go downtown. It was one of my friend's birthdays, and like we didn't end up going downtown. But me being like super drunk was going up to people and being like, "You would let me in a club?" Everyone was like, "No, Georgia, they will not let you in. We're just gonna stay in." But I was just like going up to random people and be like, "You would let me in a bar?"
I want to see that. That's amazing.
I love when drunk people
There was
do
one
that.
time I went to a friend's party, and I'd had a couple drinks. Like, I'm pretty lightweight, but a couple drinks, and I was like having a good time, but not too far. They had a long-haired cat, which I think I'm allergic to because I started getting really sneezy and watery eyes and everything. And so the friend who was hosting the party is like, "Oh, here, just have some Benadryl."
Oh no!
I don't remember walking home. I remember getting into bed and waking up 14 hours later.
Oh my god!
And I called him and said, "I just slept for 14 hours." And he said, "Are you still breathing?"
Oh my god.
And that's my experience with medication.
So don't mix.
No.
Yeah, don't mix
No.
Benadryl with alcohol.
No.
Big lesson learned.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
again.
Oh god.
/ never meeting long-haired cats ever in my life.
There you
again.
go.
Just to avoid the whole problem.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I threw up in a cab once.
Oh.
I threw up.
They probably charge you a good penny for
Okay,
it too.
I threw up in the club, then on the way out of the club in the garbage can, and then we got in the cab to go back to my friend Amy's place, and I was sitting in the front seat,
Oh no.
and I threw up in the cab, like down at the front in the cab, and then I remember opening the window and sticking my head out, and I threw up along
Oh, that's so bad.
Disgusting.
along the side of the cab as we were driving.
That's so
The
gross.
driver probably hated you.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't remember.
He was like, "Well, that's my night. I'm just gonna go home
I
now."
quit.
Like,
I
Do you
quit.
leave with like
Yeah.
$60 less in your wallet for cleaning?
yeah.
But I remember, and then I spent the rest of the night in her bathroom throwing up. And then in the morning, her mom was so nice. This was the first time that I had ever stayed at her place. Like, we were, we knew each other from class. Like, we were in the same class at
I
college.
still have drink.
And this was the first time that I was staying at her place. And then I remember in the morning I got up and her mom, and her family is British. And so I got up and her mom was so sweet to me. She was like, "Oh, I heard that you didn't have a very good night. I hope this doesn't put you off coming back and hanging out with Amy some more. Like, you should do this. You should do this again. It was still lovely to have you." And I'm like, "Thanks for letting me puke in your toilet and garbage can all night."
Wow.
No.
Okay, so I don't have. See, I've never thrown up
laughing
drinking.
at
Oh, really?
I've
I
never-
threw up in my bed once.
Oh,
I think that's a better story than
Yeah.
asking to go to clubs from every stranger on the street.
It's not even. It wasn't. I don't know. I was hanging out with people from work, which is bad because then the next day, like, no one wanted to work.
yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
See, yeah, no, I've never gotten to the
Are
point.
you sure there's whiskey in this?
There is.
I don't
got
taste
saw
it
her
at
at it.
all.
I have like
Yeah.
a tingly mouth that it's not an
I
apple
don't
cider thing.
taste it at all.
I'm definitely a lot
like,
more
at all.
chill than I
Cinnamon.
was 20
There's
minutes
no
ago,
cinnamon
so-
in the apple cider. It's
Yeah.
just plain apple cider.
Well, that's a
Yeah,
lot
so
of
the
Fireball then. So I was like, oh, really cinnamon.
yeah, I've got the cinnamon now.
But I got the double one.
probably
so-
all
I
the bottom.
don't.
So
I've been trying to swirl it.
Yeah.
Story.
yeah, so I've never thrown up, but the 2 times that I've, like, other than that one New Year's, and this is more like intentionally getting drunk, is at home. One of them is St. Patrick's Day when it's on camera. The entire thing is on my channel.
Wow.
I remember
Vlog.
that one.
St. Patrick's Day, 2012, my sister and I decided to make St. Patty's drinks
Yeah,
and
you
make
did.
basically my drunk kitchen type style
yeah.
thing.
In a
There's
really
2
dark-
videos.
in a really dark
we had
kitchen.
we had no light.
I
like,
thought there
it
was a power outage.
less than this. It was before we knew what like lighting was. But watching us do it, it's, I cannot have shamrock sprinkles now. It makes me, like, that and sour apple, whatever.
The green stuff.
The green stuff. Can't even sniff it, or I want to gag, because we had so much of it that night that I just, after we stopped filming, I was like, I have made a huge mistake. So that was, but then now I've had a worse experience at home in that this past summer, were you over? No, you didn't play Harry Potter trivia with us.
I did.
This
Kaylee.
summer?
Kaylee.
No, that was with Kaylee. We played it another time when my cousin was here. You played it with me last year.
Yeah, it was
fun. So this year,
Uh-oh.
when my cousin came, because Anthony was playing with us, so it was me, Aaron, Anthony, and my cousin. Is it recording?
Yeah, it is, but I just can't see how far we are. Sorry.
Okay.
4 minutes before it stops.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Okay.
so
That's good. I don't want to edit any more than 20 minutes.
okay. So yeah, like me, Anthony, Aaron, and my cousin were playing. We've now started this annual Harry Potter trivia. We have a Harry Potter trivia board game, but we turned it into a drinking game now.
Oh, man.
And we have 2 drinks that have been trying to be used up for 4 years that are disgusting. Cake vodka and marshmallow vodka.
Yeah. We
made
confiscated those a lot of times when I was gone.
So anyways, I was losing, and they were the losing drinks.
Oh no.
And it was me and Anthony basically going after, because what it was, we were both winning, and then when we got to the final rounds, if you lose an answer, you have to just do a straight shot of those. And we both got stuck in the final rounds.
Oh god.
He won. I paid the price, and like we stopped, and I remember I got to the kitchen, and we were in the porch. I got to the kitchen, and I just sat down, and Anthony sat beside me, and we were both like, no, for about 10 minutes. And then he and Aaron got somewhere. I crawled up the stairs, and outside of Toby's room, I got on the balcony, and I just sat there, and I was like, I'm gonna die right here, and this is the end. I'm gonna puke everywhere, and this is how I die. And I just sat there for about 20 minutes. I was like trying to figure out how I could get from the balcony to my room without throwing up and dying.
It's like a good 30 feet, maybe.
Yeah, and it's not far,
Not
but
even,
just
like 20 feet.
my mind, where I was at in my head, I was like, this is the end. And that was this past summer, and that's probably one, like, not fun drunk. That was
Like
just
really miserable drunk.
like, I wish I had thrown up, because
wish
then
you
I
were
would
dead,
have
probably.
I would have
Yeah.
felt better
Yep.
if I'd just gotten it out of my system, but my body was not doing it, and I'm like, no. And just the feat of getting to my room, and when I got to my room, I like was clinging my blankets, and I'm like, no, I never want to do this ever again. I'm never drinking again.
And you hadn't even hit hungover stage yet.
I don't get hungover. I've never been hungover.
I
Even
have.
when I've been like drunk.
I have, but I'm usually pretty good, or I got to be pretty good at. I've never gotten to a stage of drunk where I like blacked out.
No,
Yeah, no.
that's bad news.
No.
But because I usually would drink up until, like, even when we went out, I would drink up until about midnight, and then after that I would have only water. Mm-hmm. And I would take Advil before I went to bed, and then I would wake up feeling not too... Like, there were only a couple times where I've been significantly, like, I want to die. I think oh my god, how did I not tell this story yet? The first time that I got drunk... The first time I got drunk was... with Melissa and Phil in Phil's parents' basement when I was, I think, 16, 17. It must have been 17 because they were dating.
Yeah.
And we got drunk off of, I think they were like Smirnoff ice coolers or something like
bad
that.
choice.
And I just remember when his parents, or no, I think it was... He drove me home back to my mom's place in Moonstone, but in his parents' van. And I just remember the whole time, like, Melissa was chatting to me the next morning when we were driving. She was chatting and being like, la 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 la. And I just was focusing so hard on not throwing up in the van. I was like... so sick right now, like, oh my god, I might die, guys. But she was just like, la, 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 telling a story. Like, I don't have any idea what she was talking about, just telling a story or something. Yeah. Or trying to talk to me, and I was just like, I just remember focusing, like, all of my mental capacity was
On not
focusing on not puking, because I felt so disgusting. Yeah.
Yay, alcohol.
That and my taxi puking are the most hungover I've ever been.
Yeah.
Other
wanna
than
wrap
that,
it up,
other
Georgia?
than that, pretty good.
Yeah.
So that was some drunk story ramblings on our day 21 of Vlogmas Night of Spirits.
I don't think this had any alcohol in it, by the way.